What's up, YouTube? We're here at Workout Anytime, 24-hour gym. We're gonna go in. We're gonna do chest today. Now it's gonna be a little bit different than probably other chest exercises and workouts you've seen before. Chest is my weak point. Really weak. So I've been doing high volume training. I usually do it every other workout for chest. So you won't see me doing a lot of 300, 400 pound lifts in here, which I can't do anyways, because I'm just trying to build up. But we do have some exciting stuff, and it is a hard and challenging and grueling workout despite the low weight. And so let's get in and knock it out. Alright, I'll see you inside. Alright guys, so we're inside the gym. Like I said earlier, today is our chest workout day. We're gonna start with incline bench press. It's a smaller muscle group, but it helps lift the upper part of your chest. It's nobody's as strong usually doing incline bench as they are on flat bench, but I like to work it a little bit more. I don't do flat bench very much ever. The first thing we're gonna try is, and I've done it before, and it's a good workout, is 50 reps, then 30 reps, then 20 reps. So because we're doing 100 repetitions, we have to keep the weight really, really low. It's a super volume exercise that we're doing to help with burning fat, and it's not building a ton of muscle, but we're not there right now. So if you follow along with this, I would start, just for an example, I brought someone with me a few weeks ago, and they did it with me, and this person is a pretty strong person, and they could only end up doing the bar 50 times, and they struggled with that. The first 30 or 35 times of anything isn't too bad. It's that final 20 that'll really get you. I may have to even pause. I may have to set the bar down, give it a couple seconds, and try to get the rest of them, or I might have to do it 2 times. But the goal is 50. The first time I ever tried it, I used super low weight, and I got all 50. But it was still hard. My arms were jello by the time I got done. So I've upped the weight a little bit. It's nothing impressive, but I think it's a good starting point. So we're gonna try it at least. The thing that's hard is after doing that first 50, you may get it. 30, struggle with it, and then 20, by the time you're doing the 20 set, the stamina is just not there. And that's one of the things I'm working on, is muscle stamina. So that's why most of the exercises you see me do, I do 10 to 12 reps per set, just to get the muscles used to working and get them activated. If I was already in a little bit better shape, or quite a bit better shape, I'd work heavy. We do less reps and heavier weights to kind of fill in muscle and grow and build and kind of get that muscular physique. But right now we're still in a process of burning fat. We're in a huge calorie deficit. If you're following along with the meal prepping, we're around 1,500 calories a day. So we're not in a place where we can gain, where we can pack on lots of muscle right now with that kind of calorie intake. So we're just focusing on volume, and yeah, we're gonna get to it. Again, wish me luck, because I'm gonna try 50, and I may not get it, but I'll try my best, and that's all I want you to do. So, all right, guys, let's get to work. Alright guys, so you saw just how difficult that was on that first set for me. I had to take 2 breaks, a couple seconds, 3-4 seconds per break. And one of the things I hope that you could gather from that, because it's very obvious, is, that first 30, I got them. It was after that I really started to struggle. And I think that's true no matter how strong you are, no matter how much weight it is or how little weight it is. 30 seems to be kind of the threshold for a lot of people. Even if you look at the NFL Combine and stuff, when you see these guys that are just, freakishly strong, 30, around that 30 number for most people tends to be, even for the really strong guys, really tends to be the, kind of the threshold. So it's interesting, and it feels interesting to push past that. And I don't mean puttering out 34, 35. I mean, yeah, you're at 30, great, but then you have to go to 50. So basically doubling it almost. So it's definitely worth you guys trying out. Even if you can bench 400 pounds, come in here and just, maybe throw 135 on it and, knock that out for 50, because it really starts to stress the chest a little bit differently than just a straight down up and, for 6 or 8 or 3 or 4. It's not giving you necessarily explosive power, but it's definitely working muscle stamina. And, I'm still shaking, and it's been, a minute since I stood up, and my arms are still just shaking. So as you can probably tell by the camera, but yeah, it's definitely worth trying this workout and see how it makes you feel. I can't say that it makes you gain any more strength, but you're definitely getting a good workout. And when you do it on incline, you're really isolating just that upper chest. There's not a lot of other factors that come into play besides your upper chest. A little bit of your shoulders, like we talked about in the shoulder video, as to the reason why I don't really train front delts that hard. But using flat bench, your back really comes into play, your leg position, just a lot of different things. Some of the heaviest power lifters, weightlifters, when they bench press, it's seeing them get into position, from their back to the way their backside is positioned on the bench, where their legs are kicked out behind them. Everything works in tandem. And with an incline bench, you really just kind of isolate that upper part of your chest. You still get a little bit of the push from your back, but it's not as severe because you can't position yourself quite the same way. So up next is 30 attempts. I say attempts because after that last one, I struggled. So this is all about attempts, and hopefully by the end of it, we've gotten in 100 reps and we can move on to the next exercise. So. Alright guys, so I know you just saw that one. That was the 30. It's interesting, it really seems like the threshold seems to be maybe, around 25. Even with a little bit of added weight, it wasn't much weight added, but even with a little bit of added weight, we got the first 25 pretty simply. Took a little bit of a break, did 4, and I felt that I wasn't going to get it up, so I did took a pause, and then I did one more, but got our 30 in. So now we're over with the really high ones, the 50 and the 30. Next is the 20, but keep in mind, if you're doing this, you've just done 80 repetitions. So if you're like me, your chest is on fire right now. Those muscle fibers are torn up. So this isn't a time to, triple the weight or anything. You just want to finish out the 20, add a little bit of weight, finish out your 20, because this is just the first exercise. We still got quite a few more to go. So all right, so let's get 20, and hopefully I can get all 20 without stopping. That's going to be the goal for this one, all 20 without stopping. So wish me luck, because here we go. Alright guys, so hopefully y'all are as glad to be done with that as I am. As you saw in that last set, I got 18 in my 20, and then I went back and got the final 2. But yeah, it's not easy. I don't care how strong you are. Super high reps, we just did 100 repetitions, 50 plus 30s, 80 plus another 20s, 100. So 100 reps, and it wasn't significant weight, but again, that's not what we were looking for, because you saw how much I struggled with such little weight, just doing that high number of reps. To me, it seems like I'd rather kind of push past that point of failure, and I could be wrong, but I'd rather push past that muscle failure, at 45 reps than going heavier on weight and trying to push past it on my 3rd or 4th rep. I just feel like this is going to be a lot better for my progress, pushing smaller weights for more times, especially early on. So, and it helps you to keep from getting discouraged, because instead of the goal being, how much weight can you put on there, that's not the goal. The goal is, who cares if you just do the bar, but do it 50 times. If you add a 5-pound weight, do it 30 times. And if you add a 10, do that 20 more. I think part of bench pressing and stuff like that can be mental, and I definitely have a mental block when it comes to my chest, just because for years and years and years, no matter how strong I got and how much weight I'd lost, who I was working out with, all of these kinds of things, it didn't matter. I could smoke people on shoulders, I could smoke people on arms, on triceps, biceps. Obviously I could smoke people on legs, my friends and things like that. But bench press was something where I was lacked. There's guys out there that weigh 165 pounds, 175 pounds that bench press more than me. And I'm not talking about famous people, I'm just talking about regular people. There's 2 small guys here in the gym right now. They can probably both do more than I can. So right now, instead of focusing on I got to bench 315 pounds, I got to bench 405 pounds, set a different goal. And right now the goal is, do this little bit of weight 50 times, because the difference is you take these same people that can do 315, 405, or a lot more, than I can do or you can do, and what can they get 50 times? It's kind of an ego crusher, but I think that's good. We have to tear down that ego, just like we tear down our bodies to rebuild it in the right image. So and our mind and our ego comes into play there, So like I said, it came with a guy a few weeks ago, and he's a relatively strong guy, and struggled, couldn't get his 50 with anything more than the bar. So, it's all about, putting kind of preconceived notions of strength aside and focusing on a different goal. And that goal was 100 reps, 50, 30, and then 20. And we've completed that. Hopefully you've completed that. And now we're on to the next exercise. So I'll see you in just a minute. All right, guys. So the next thing that we're going to work on is incline dumbbell presses. It's basically the similar exercise to what we just did. You'll notice in a lot of my exercises I use dumbbells. There's a reason for that. Dumbbells and free weights in general, especially dumbbells, they cause a lot more muscles to come into play. If you watch the back exercise, I talked about that a little bit between doing a standard cable row and doing, on a machine row, or a lat pull down actually is what it was. When you use dumbbell weights, that really focus on not just what you're trying to work on, but the stabilization muscles it takes just to hold a free weight right here. Yeah, there's the motion of the pushing. There's also a lot of muscle that goes into keeping this from moving back and forth or forward or backwards. So you work out a lot more than just the press, just the chest. You'll find that some of your strongest men on the planet work out almost exclusively with dumbbells. And there's a reason for that. Because it's all those little stabilizer muscles that ultimately allow you to do more strength exercises. It doesn't necessarily work for a hypertrophy, which is like a bodybuilding type look, where you want definitive muscle growth in certain areas. But for overall strength, dumbbells are the way to go. They don't necessarily help with cutting, because again, it's building all the muscles around the muscle you're centering on kind of equally. So if you're focused on chest, you're also working your arms and stabilizing muscles in your shoulders and your triceps and your forearms and your wrist. So, but if you're not doing this for aesthetics and you're doing it to build overall strength, which builds overall muscle, which burns overall fat, which is what we're here for, at least what I'm here for, I just find that dumbbells are a good way to go. Again, I'm not any stronger on dumbbells than I am on a standard barbell press. There's no magic formula that changes. So we're going to start with low weight. We're going to try to do 3 sets of 10. That may not sound like much, but after just doing the 50, 30, 20, getting that 10 is just going to be a miracle. And then we're going to try to duplicate that 2 more times for a total of 3 sets of 10. So, all right, guys, let's hit it and get to it. Alright guys, so hopefully you got the gist of what we were doing just there. We're going to do 2 more sets. I won't pause and break into it. I'll just try to knock out the last 2 sets. 10 apiece. We started out with 55s. We'll probably just go up in 5-pound increments. So we'll do 60s and maybe 65s. And that'll wrap up that part of it. So, alright guys, let's get to it. Alright guys, so what you just saw in that last set was what they call muscle failure. I think I was on my 8th rep and muscles just gave out. So that's why this channel's real. You know, I've made jokes and stuff that you know, you don't see the work on a lot of other people's pages and a lot of the workouts. Muscle failure is a real thing. You know, we've pushed and pushed and pushed, and they pushed back. They said they're done. And the problem with the dumbbell exercise, as good as they are, is if your muscle fails, depending on where it fails, you know, if it fails at the top of the rep, you can die because it will fall on your head, on your face. The best thing to do is if you start getting muscle failure and you are up in the rep, just let it fall to the side and crash on the floor. Try to sway your body and do that. But I've been doing other exercises, different kinds of, you know, tricep extensions and stuff with dumbbells where I've just went to failure and conked myself in the face with it. So you know, whereas like on a bench, if you start going to failure, you can just re-rack it. But yeah, so I mean, that was real life, and you just saw 8 reps and then muscle just gave out, and you saw my arms shaking and just couldn't get it up. So I think we're done with dumbbell incline, probably done with incline today in general, but we still got some more to go, so let's get back to it. Alright guys, so we're gonna wrap up this session with a Pec Fly machine. It looks like this. Hopefully you can see that. All the gyms across America have these of some variation. Now, this really builds this inner part here, but it also really stretches out and tears everything you just worked on. That's what I'm using it for. You know, you've seen bodybuilders that have the little striations right here on each side. Yeah, that's gonna be 10 years before I look like that. So what I use it for, because I think either The Rock or Arnold Schwarzenegger, so either way, both of those are outstanding reference points. They really use the Pec Fly to just kind of tear down. You know, your muscles are pumped. You can't tell on me, but I mean, this upper part right here, if you can see through my shirt, this upper part of my, you know, of my chest is, blood is in here. You know, it's pumped because we've just done so much work to it, which is good and it feels good. You know, the pump feels amazing. However, we want to tear all that down. We want to get that blood to the rest of the muscles in the chest. So we're going to shoot for 3 sets of 20. And to be honest with you, I don't usually do 20 on this. I usually do 12 to 15 until it kind of hurts, and then do another set and another set. But, you know, since you're here watching, I'm going to try to do 3 sets of 20. Now, the weight's not substantial. It's not really the point, because we're doing 60 reps on this exercise. And it's really a stretch exercise. We're stretching out everything that we just worked, opening up, you know, pathways for the blood to flow. And the blood is what's taking the oxygen and the nutrients and all that other stuff, all the stuff we eat during the day, all that protein and kale and spinach. So we're opening up pathways for all that stuff to reach the other muscles, the other parts of the same muscle, instead of just, you know, pegged up here, you know, pegged up here in this little bump. So that's what we're doing. We're going to stretch it out. You will feel it in here, right in the center part, because your pec is here and your pec is here. You're going to feel that pulling, you know, because you're going to be doing this motion, and you're really going to feel that in here. And you need to pull with that part of your chest. I know when you're first getting started, a lot of people can't isolate their muscle groups. And even a lot of people years on end can't do it. But just really focus and think about the muscle you're using. But 3 sets of 20, and we'll wrap it up and be done. All right, guys, let's knock it out. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video today, the chest workout. We are finished up and we're going to keep it short and sweet. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell to get notifications as we're posting these more frequently. And follow along with our meal plans, our meal prepping. I shot a video today, well I attempted to shoot a video today of grocery shopping. We'll try that again next week. It was madness. You know, I'm a big guy, but I was getting trampled on in the spinach section, so we'll try that again later because it was too much chaos going on. It was going to be too loud. So, alright guys, I appreciate all the love and support. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Bolton Fat to Fit. And we will see you guys on the next workout. Alright guys, take care.